welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my channel if you are new. I am Krista, and today's video, if you haven't been able to tell from the title, is a Q&A video. I haven't shot one of these in a while, and I did kind of like a car Q&A in one of my TTC videos maybe like a week or two ago, but I figured I'd sit down and do like a real Q&A where you guys ask questions. A lot of you guys submitted questions through my Instagram, so without making this intro long, let's just go ahead and get into them. By the way, if this is your first video you're seeing from me, I am pregnant, so if you hear some questions that pertain to that, that is why. I am very newly pregnant, about 5.5 weeks at this point, so just keep all of that in mind. These questions, I've kind of read through them, but not really, so the answers will be right off the top of my head, and they are not about any one topic specifically. What was your first pregnancy symptom with Sebastian? Sebastian is my 21, almost 22-month-old son, and my very first symptom was, well, okay, I knew to take a pregnancy test because I had the implantation bleeding and cramps, but the actual physical symptom, I don't remember. It may have just been extreme exhaustion. I really was just exhausted. I was so tired, and I had food aversions. Your hair, can you please tell us about it? Honestly, I get questions about my hair all the time. I don't really do anything special to my hair. I am the worst actually about hair, and it's usually, if you watch my vlogs, you know, it's sitting on a bun on the top of my head. I don't use any special shampoo. I think the one I'm using right now is by Shea Moisture. I use a conditioner by, I think the brand is called Way, and it came in my FabFitFun box, and I love it. I just blow it dry and straighten it and pop clip-ins in when I want it to be really full or super long, depending on the day. I know nothing about doing hair. Do you think having a baby or being pregnant strained your marriage or made it stronger? In our case, I would say made it stronger because we really had to become a team. I know in the beginning part of our marriage, and he still does, Brennan, my husband, spoiled me, and he still, like I said, does spoil me, but I think at the beginning it was all about like, how can I make Krista happy? And now it's like, we're both like, how can we make this baby happy? Or how can we make this pregnancy a good one for the baby that I'm cooking right now? And it's not all about one person anymore, whether it's me or my husband or your husband or you. It needs to become about your baby. And so I think we are a really good parenting team, so having a baby and getting pregnant again has only helped us. I don't recall or can't think of any time where I would say that becoming parents caused strain. The next question is, have you ever had a miscarriage? And the answer is no, thank God. I just pray so hard over this pregnancy and pray that it makes it full term, because I would be devastated if something happened, and I know that it's common and so many women have gone through that, but thankfully I have not. All right, so the next question is, how many hours after your trigger shot was the IUI performed? I'm horrible at math. I would imagine that it would have been 36 hours maybe. I think I did my trigger shot around 10 o'clock on a Sunday night, and then I had my IUI on 10 a.m. on Tuesday, so however many hours that is. How do you think Bash will react to baby bro or sis? Bash, by the way, is my son's nickname. A lot of people, we all call him Bash, so if you're wondering, my son is Sebastian, but we call him Bash. And I think he'll be good. He kind of gets jealous when I hold other people's children, so we'll see how that goes, but I plan to raise them as best friends even from the time that the newborn comes out, and to just love his baby brother or sister so much. I don't really know what I'm gonna do pre-baby to prepare him other than just kind of talk to him, because he's still young. He'll be about 2.5 by the time the baby comes, so he'll be a little bit more understanding possibly at that point, but at this current moment, he's not even 2 yet. He has no idea what's going on. Are you still on the keto diet? And if so, do you think it helps when trying to get pregnant? I am not still doing keto because I am pregnant. I stopped doing keto during my 2-week wait. I'm sure some doctors would say keto is fine during pregnancy. I don't know that to be true, and I did not ask my own doctor. Keto can be very restrictive, and during pregnancy, that's not something I want to be. Pregnancy can already cause you to not want certain foods, so the last thing I want to do is make myself cut out even more foods when those may be the only things that I can eat. But I do think it helps to get pregnant, especially if you have PCOS like me. You can lose weight on it, and only putting those healthy foods and lowering your carb intake and lowering your sugar intake, I mean, I can't see how that would work against someone who's trying to get pregnant. Have you started potty training Bash yet? If not, when do you plan to? I have not started potty training Bash. He is familiar with the potty, but we have not gone full force into that. I always wanted to do it around like 2.5, so that's when I'm gonna do it. Unfortunately, that will be when the new baby's here, but I feel like the baby will be so small and not mobile yet that I'll be able to knock that out before the baby's 6 months, hopefully. Do you still talk to other YouTube mamas? Yes, I have a lot of YouTube friends that are more than just the ones you've seen me with, and I talk to some of them often, and some of the ones you have seen me with I don't talk to as much. What is your favorite perfume or signature scent? I really like Tom Ford Black Orchid. It's very strong and it can almost be too strong, but to me, I just love it. How many children would you like to have? So one thing I don't think I remembered about being pregnant with Sebastian is the paranoia that comes into your mind at the beginning of a pregnancy. I don't know if I can keep going through this mentally. I forgot how taxing being pregnant is at the very beginning especially. And I don't know if I'm mentally strong enough to keep doing this over and over again, and that would make me not want to have any more kids. After, and I'm pretty sure I knew this already, but I think after this baby, I am done birthing babies. It doesn't mean that we're done having children, and I wouldn't mind adopting, maybe getting our family up to 4 children. Where are your favorite places to shop? I'm definitely an online shopper. I do not like to go into stores to shop. I don't like trying on clothes, and I don't like waiting in lines. I love Zara. I even like H&M, some stuff from Mango, a lot of department stores like Nordstrom, and sometimes just like random boutiques that I see on Instagram that like may have like a cute top, and I'm like, oh, that's cute, but like it may not be a place that I shop often. I just kind of try to find like staple pieces that I can make into several different outfits, if that makes sense. Did you go to college, and if so, what was your major? I did. I went to Valdosta State University from 2007 to 2011, and I graduated with a bachelor's in mass media with an emphasis in broadcast news. Do you have a gender preference? Obviously, everyone's gonna say they want a healthy baby, so that being said, I would love to have a little girl, but to be honest, I would not be upset if I didn't, because Bash having a little brother would be the cutest thing. Like, they could grow up and be best friends, and not that they couldn't if I had a girl, but you know what I mean, like 2 brothers. That's so sweet. Since finding out, do you have any fears, or how do you think Bash will accept a sibling? I don't have any new fears other than the thought of loving another child as much as I love Bash. I can't really fathom that or comprehend that, and I have so many friends who have more than 1 child, so I know it's possible, but because my baby isn't in my arms yet, it's hard for me to, and don't get me wrong, I love the baby that I am carrying right now, but it's hard for me to fathom loving another child like I love Sebastian, but I know I will. And I don't think Bash will have a problem accepting the baby, and he really doesn't have a choice. He'll get used to it just like everyone else. When is your due date? Mine is February 10th. Oh, congratulations. And we're thinking probably around then, February 10th or 11th, according to like the apps. I obviously won't know until I go to the doctor, which will be when I'm 7 weeks pregnant. So I think that's 2 weeks from now. What are the advantages and disadvantages, if any, of having 2 kids according to you? It's hard to say since I don't really have 2 children in front of me just yet. I mean, I would say the advantage is just growing your family and having a bigger unit, I guess, and having your now only child become a sibling, and you won't ever have to potentially deal with the spoiling that may come along with being an only child. And trust me, I was an only child for 9 years, so I know that it happens. I guess the only disadvantage that I can think of at the moment, which really isn't a disadvantage, but it would just be making sure as a parent that you can give each child individual attention so that neither or no child feels like the other one is loved more or gets more of your time or whatever, but that's not really a disadvantage, I guess, unless you make that one. How did you get through the 2-week wait every month? So honestly, the only 2-week wait that was difficult for me was the one that I documented, and that was because it was the only one where we had tried with a doctor, so I had a lot on the line. Between January and April, May, like I wasn't preventing myself from getting pregnant, but I wasn't actively trying. So when I knew the 2-week wait was coming around, like, oh, okay, let's see if anything happened this month. I knew that I hadn't tried hard enough, so it was kind of like, if it didn't happen, it's, well, you didn't try. But for this last one, a lot of prayer got me through my 2-week wait, because I wasn't feeling a lot of things. I was worried that we had just done all of this and spent all this money and you know, and taken all this medication, and it didn't happen. And honestly, I spent most of my 2-week wait in prayer and texting with my friends and talking to my husband and just trying to take my mind off of it. But let me tell you, it was the longest 2 weeks, and I didn't even make it the full 2 weeks because I found out at 11 days past ovulation. Yeah, it's rough, and I can get really impatient. But I started testing, and waiting to see those lines kind of keeps you excited. Are you nervous about balancing mom life with 2 kids with Brennan traveling? Yes, I cannot lie. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, I have this in the bag, like 2 babies and my husband being gone for almost 6 months out of the year every other week. Like, I'm terrified, honestly. The best thing that we could have done was plan it the way that we did, and for me to get pregnant in the off season. That way the baby will be several months old by the time Brandon starts traveling, and we'll have an established routine by the end of the summer and the beginning of football season. If you don't know, my husband is the director of operations for the Atlanta Falcons. A lot of you guys may not have known he got a promotion, so now he's the director of operations, but he also does their team travel and logistics. So him being gone is very normal for us during football. I don't know how I'm gonna manage that. I'm a little nervous, but like I said, we are gonna have a better schedule and a routine going by then, so let's just hope it's not that bad. And if it is hard, I'm gonna go stay at my mom's house. Are you and Kara going to do any pregnancy collabs? My two favorite YouTube moms. Oh, you're so sweet. If you're not sure who Kara is another YouTuber. Her name is Kara Linnell. I'll put it on here. Kara, if you're watching, hi. Kara is very pregnant with her second baby, and it's a girl this time. She has a little boy who's close to Bash's age. I'm so happy for her. I would love to do a pregnancy collab with her. The only thing I don't know if we will be able to, because she's on the back end. I'm just at the beginning and haven't started pregnancy content yet. So I don't know, but hopefully we can figure out something because I would love to. Kara's my girl, y'all know that. Let's see, new subscriber here. How long were you trying to conceive baby number 2? So not long. Like I said a little bit ago, I stopped preventing. I got my IUD out in January of 2018, and I found out I was pregnant June 1st, so technically I got pregnant in May. Not long at all. With Sebastian, it took us 18.5 months, and it was like a very, very difficult and trying time for us because for the bulk of that time we did not understand or know what was causing the infertility. Will you be doing a gender reveal? Yes. I'm not sure how, but I will reveal it to you all if that's what you're asking. I would like to kind of have a gender reveal party. I don't know, but I will do some sort of reveal for you, and I will just film however I find out, and that's how I will show it to you all. The next question is, do you and your husband share bank accounts? If so, do you have your own as well? And the answer is yes and yes. I think it is so important to have your own money. I have always had my own account since before we got married. And I will have my own account until the very end. He does as well. And then we do have a joint account, and we got that joint account a few months before we got married to pay our bills from. How did you emotionally prepare to leave Bash when you traveled to the Bahamas? To be completely honest, and this may sound terrible, it really didn't take a lot. I did not, oh my gosh, I did not do a lot of emotional preparation or anything to leave Bash. And that is because that was not the first time that I've left him. What eases my mind is, one, he gets older and he's not missing me. With the Bahamas specifically, he loves going to my mom's house. I mean, they spoil him so much over there. Even when my dad was still alive, like, they would just do whatever he wanted, and I knew that he was having a good time and not wondering where I was. What would you be doing if you weren't doing YouTube? I would just be a stay-at-home mom like I am now, just without the camera. I would still be doing that. I don't think I would really be doing much more than literally just devoting all of my time to being his mom. That said, I do think it's important to have a hobby just so that you don't lose your own independence and identity. What is your dream car? I would love a matte black G-Wagon, but I hear they're discontinued, so I probably will never get one. Do you get a lot of hate comments? The answer is no, which is probably why when you see somebody send me one, I will post it on my Instagram, just because it's usually really off the wall, and it's like, everybody else liked what I said, why don't you? And if you didn't, why did you feel the need to say something? What made you start your YouTube channel? I always knew that I wanted to do something in social media, so I met another YouTuber and she encouraged me to start my channel, and it kind of just happened from there. I realized that I could couple my love for being in front of the camera, which is what I went to college for, and my love for connecting with people. I didn't know that there was another way to do that aside from being on the news or like being a television personality or host. YouTube ended up working out for me because I can do all of that and I can communicate with all of you, and I can do it on my own terms. Have you guys thought of baby names yet? Yes, and I'm actually going to do the baby names videos. I'm gonna do one which will be baby names that we might be using, because if it's a boy, I don't know what we're gonna do, and if it's a girl, we've had her name, but I would love to share with you some other names that I like, so that if you're pregnant with a little girl, you can potentially use them. How much money can you realistically make on YouTube? That's a really good question. So I know that there are really large channels that make 6 figures, and I'm talking about like well into the 6 figures. And I know that there are smaller YouTube channels that have less than 15,000 subscribers with great views, and they are making a couple thousand a month. It really just depends. I'm not going to go into the specifics of how much I pull in a year from YouTube, but it is possible to bring in a decent income on YouTube. I think a lot of people don't realize the amount of subscribers does not really play the largest role in how much money you make. It's really about views and your sponsorships. So when you see a YouTube video with sponsored content, I know a lot of people don't like sponsored content, but that's the way that people in this world make money, and through AdSense. It's doable. However, if you are starting YouTube just to make money, you may not want to do it, because it takes a long time to get to a place where you can start pulling in an income from YouTube, but you can bring in a good income through YouTube. I will say YouTube changed my life. The next question says, you may have answered this, but does your husband have infertility issues or just you? And it is just me that has the infertility issues. I have PCOS. We have had Brandon tested twice, not by choice, but our fertility clinic just does it. It was the first time was when we went in to have Sebastian, and the second time was this go round just to make sure that he was still good, and both times he was fine. It is really just me who has the problem. What did they do at your first fertility appointment? At the very first one, it's just a consultation, at least at the place that I go, and that's the one where you like sit down and map out your plan. So when do you want to get pregnant, as far as like, do you want to take a few more months to try on your own, or do you want to just do this now? They tell you what kind of testing you may need to do before you can start any sort of medication. They may set you up with some procedures to try to find and hone in on what's causing your infertility. I wouldn't be worried though about your very first appointment as far as like an exam or, you know, being seen goes. They probably won't do that at the very first appointment. How do you make friends in your new area as a stay-at-home mom? Up here, it is a lot more isolating. I have made friends with my neighbor Gabby, who lives literally in the house right next door to ours. And then I have my friend Morgan here. Her husband works with Brandon, and I know them through Falcons. But as far as like making a friend with a random stranger, I haven't really done that. I'm thinking though, when Bash starts school one day, that I will probably make more mom friends. My best friend from college doesn't live that far from here, and I have mom friends already just because I have friends. But as far as making new friends, I haven't really done that. I love making friends. I don't know where to meet them, I guess is really what I'm trying to say. What keeps you positive and motivated? Love your channel. Oh, thank you. I think for me, I just don't really like being miserable. It's not fun. It will bring down my whole day if I let myself wallow in it, and so in whatever I'm dealing with. So I just try to like be upbeat and positive, and I feel like my husband likes me better when I'm a nice person and happy, and so I try to just keep it, you know, light and fun all the time. Have you ever had any toxic friendships or relationships? Yes. I don't think you can be a normal person and get through life without making friends or being in a relationship with someone or even a family member and not having gone through something and realize like that person is not for you. As far as like old boyfriends, I mean, I've been in bad relationships, but I mean, who hasn't when you're in college and younger than that? But I have had friendships, or what I thought was a friendship, with people who turned out to not be what I thought they were. When I turned 30, I kind of realized like I'm kind of too old at this point to be wondering if I should still be friends with this person or that person. Like, I should know, and I want to keep my core group of friends and have them for life. And I think finally I am at a place where I have my girlfriends, they know who they are, and that's it. I don't really have time for a lot of fakeness and drama and dealing with petty stuff. And that's what I love about the girls that I call my friends. My closest friends, they aren't YouTubers. They may appear on my channel every now and then, but they are, like, if you saw my birthday vlog, it's those girls who are with me in that vlog. It is these women, and some are moms and some aren't, who I can just go to for anything. The reason why is because we are all mature in our friendships, and I think that as far as toxic relationships go, why have them? Eliminate them from your life. If you find that you're in a group of friends or in a friendship with someone or a relationship, and you see them treating other people badly, whether they're treating you badly or not, or they are treating you badly, or they're horrible to their families, or they speak badly about any person who isn't in the room, and you know they're probably speaking bad about you too, like, why keep that in your life? And I mean, in the last year, I feel like I have really honed in on who I want to have in my life and who I actually call a friend and who I don't anymore. And in certain relationships, I have seen a lot of things go down that I didn't agree with, and I just thought, like, why am I involved or associated with this, because that's not who I am. And the way I handle friendships or relationships that I don't think are good is I remove myself from the situation. Life is so much happier when you do. But yeah, that's how I handle those types of relationships. Just get out of it and keep it moving. Don't linger in it, just leave. So I think that's gonna be the last question for part 1. I will make a part 2 video. Wanted to make sure that everyone had a chance to ask what they wanted to. So yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.